Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again, and I've got another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for telling my mother-in-law if my husband's baby mama goes on vacation with us, then I will not go? Well, this doesn't sound complicated at all. All right, so I'm not going to say much backstory besides my husband, John, fake names, has a 6-year-old daughter, Sophie, from a previous relationship. He was with her mom, Emma, from when they were 14 till 19. They had Sophie when they were 18 and they weren't together, but they were messing around until I came along. I've been with my husband for 3, almost 4 years, and we've been married for a year with a 9-month daughter, and I'm currently 15 weeks pregnant with another daughter. Oh my! How would you like to have a 9-month-old and be 15 weeks pregnant? That doesn't sound like a whole lot of work at all. I love Sophie to death, I really do. I view her as my own and treat her like so, which has been perfectly okay and completely encouraged by my in-laws and husband, and me and Sophie have an amazing bond. This Christmas, we're supposed to be going to California to go visit my extended in-laws with Sophie, my 2 daughters, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, and 2 brothers-in-law, so that the girls can meet their great-grandma and all of their cousins around the same age. The plan is to go there and stay at John's great-grandma's house because she had just moved into a huge house with multiple rooms, and I've been excited and planning for this trip with my husband and girls for a while. Well, yesterday, I was hanging out with my mother-in-law grocery shopping, and she casually mentions that Emma is planning on coming on the trip, but nothing has been set in stone. I ask questions about living arrangements. She's supposed to be staying with all of us in John's great-grandma's house. John knew nothing about this, by the way. I get upset and I tell her I'm not okay with that. It feels disrespectful to bring her with us to stay in the same house as John's wife and expect us to act like a happy little family when this is not her family anymore and never will be. And I understand she's Sophie's mom, but that's all she is. Nothing more, nothing less. And if she's going to bring her along, then me and my 2 girls won't go. Instantly, my mother-in-law snaps at me that I'm a selfish, ungrateful bitch and have no right to put them in that situation, and she's as much family as I am, which I do not agree with, and we just argued until she took me home, and things have been tense since. I am in no way trying to get in the way of Sophie and Emma's relationship, and I'm not trying to replace Emma. We get along now, but there were problems in the past of her not giving John his court-ordered parenting time, which is why I'm so adamant about her not coming for Christmas. John has never been allowed to have Sophie for Christmas until this year, when we kept threatening court, so she finally buckled down, and I just don't think it's right for her to impose that way when it's the first year having her. I also think it's straight disrespectful to treat me and her like we are the same. She is John's past. I feel that she is not the one married to John, so she is not part of John's family. So am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law if my husband's baby mama goes on vacation with us, then I will not go? Edit. My husband fully agrees with me and says he wouldn't be comfortable with her going either, and he will not go either if his mom is going to let her impose on his first Christmas with his daughter and get in the way of his court-ordered parenting time. Edit. Christmas vacation is our court-ordered time. On all odd years, we're supposed to get the first half of Christmas break, which is the first 11 days, and that's when the trip is. That's like John asking to go on their trip to Miami this summer with Emma's mom and grandma. It's not right, and it's imposing on specific time that was set out for us. Final edit, we talked to John's great-grandma, and she had no idea these plans were in place, and she's not happy about it. So it seems that mother-in-law and Emma planned this with nobody else's approval. She was on my side, saying it was disrespectful and she's not going to let her impose on John's first Christmas with Sophie. She thinks it's weird Emma even wants to come in the first place, so she is not letting that happen. I'm honestly relieved. Thank you all for the judgment. Most of you said I'm not the asshole and it makes me feel good to be validated. I appreciate you all so much. Okay, this one took a little bit of a ride. So I think that personally, mother-in-law here is allowed to have a relationship with her granddaughter's mother. I think that's perfectly okay. I think having a relationship is fine. I think working with her to subvert plans for dad to finally get some Christmas time alone with her is horseshit. I think trying to bring her along on this trip with the rest of the family is problematic. And if everybody was a big kumbaya happy family, it wouldn't be a big deal, but there are known issues here and she hid it from people. Like no one else knew. It slipped out whenever they were shopping, and this is where this ball started rolling about it being a conflict and it being the drama. The one thing I would love to know that I do not know from reading the story is who made the request. Was this Emma? Was this Emma's mom saying, I want to go? Or was this mother-in-law saying, I would like for you to go? Because that would drastically change the situation here. Either way, LP's question here is, am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law if my husband's baby mama goes on vacation with us, then I will not go? Not the asshole. NTA in my book here. not the asshole because there's known drama. It's not one of those situations where everybody's a big happy family and can do this kind of thing. There are families like that. You guys may have a family like that where blended family parents can go do things together. This ain't one of them. This ain't one of them. And mother-in-law was the only one who wanted that to happen. No one else did. Not even great-grandma, who owns the house they were going to stay in, knew. So mother-in-law in this case, or Emma's mom in this case, are the assholes for trying to plan this without telling anyone. Not even great-grandma whose house they were going to. Now, how big of assholes would they be? I think we have to know who initiated the request to really know how big of an asshole they are and why they were wanting to come. Again, I think it's perfectly fine for the mother-in-law to have a relationship with her granddaughter's mother. That's completely fine. It can't be done in a way that harms the relationship with her son's wife and her other grandbaby's mom. It's complicated. I get it. And from the mom's perspective, I'm sure it's even more delicate because she wants to have a good direct relationship with Emma's mom so that she can have direct access to her. I understand that. But also, she can't do it to the detriment of all the other relationships that she had. That's what she's on the verge of doing here. So, ill-advised. Ill-advised. If mother-in-law requested Emma's mom come on this trip, that would make her an ascon 1. If Emma's mom requested to come on this trip and mother-in-law was trying to find a way to make it happen, maybe not quite an ascon 1, probably a 2 though. It's interesting. I wish we knew who made the request, or maybe maybe it was both of their ideas. We could just treat them as accomplices to each other here. They've had trouble getting the Christmas time that they're supposed to get per the court order document, which, by the way, if you're having trouble with that, that's a legal issue. Like, there has to be a reason for a deviation from the plan. And if there is deviation from the plan, then whoever caused that deviation is going to get in trouble. So that's a legal issue. But it sounds like they already went through the battle on that to make sure that they secured the time that they were supposed to have with his daughter for Christmas. And lo and behold, she's going to come on the trip too. Wow, this is surprising. Can't believe it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it could be a control thing, and mother-in-law could just be trying to keep that relationship with Emma's mom open so that she can have direct access to. So essentially, mom's like a double agent here. That's what's going on. Mom is a double agent. You know what? Let's do it. Let's send both mother-in-law and Emma's mom straight to ascon 1, because the more we talk about it, the more complex this gets, and it requires them both being in cahoots and trying to exercise control by the one time that dad is supposed to get Christmas with her and finally gets Christmas with her. Her mom just shows up on the trip. Oh, wow. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Would you just look at it? And mother-in-law's the one trying to advocate to make it happen. So you're both shit. Sorry. Do better.